We have a game. I hope you're ready.
We have a game tonight. This is what happens when Mitch Martyr is out. Leafs throw us on the ice.
I am the
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma, and I'm joined. Oh, I said I was going to switch it up because you said something about it. And now I don't know what I was going to... I should have written this out, but I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
I said I was going to switch it up after you made fun of me for saying the same thing every single time, and I didn't write it out, so I have nothing to say. But how about that Bobby McMann extension?
Bobby McMann extension?
That's just the first thing I have in my notes, though, is Bobby McMann extension. Thank you, Brad, for giving us something to talk about, because we with the Leafs, because there's nothing else.
You've got this and defending Joseph Fall's little legs.
In all caps.
In all caps. Well, it's always obvious which topics I say I want to bring up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's always very obvious in our little spreadsheet. But yes, Bobby McMann signs an extension for 2 years, so it's a multi-year deal. Way to go, Bobber! With an annual average cap hit of 1.35, which is the same value, is the same cap hit as Ryan Reaves for the next 2 seasons after this one. I know who I would rather have for 1.35, and it's not Ryan Reaves.
But yeah, I'm so happy for him.
I think there's honestly, there's like nothing but, like, this was great news. Like this and the Simon Benoit extensions, I feel like everyone's waiting for. And so we have one. We're 50% of the way there. Keep going, Brad. Keep going.
Halfway there.
Whoa.
I had to. Legally.
Yeah, it's the Leafs. You have to.
It's an important song for them.
It is a very important song for them. But yeah, way to go, Bobby. I think we do also have to, because we're us, we do have to talk about noted cap cut user. Noted cap cut user Matthew Nyes.
Oh, it's so entertaining. I need to just, like, I know it's not ethical, but I need to run a scientific study on him.
It's not ethical. Oh my god. No,
but
if
need
you
to understand how his mind works, because it's
incredible. If you were living under a rock for the past 24 hours, I'd say. Yeah, 24 hours, give or take, right?
Yeah, 24.
And you didn't see it. Bobby McMahon's contract extension announcement came out, and like everyone in Leafs Nation, because I reposted it on my Instagram story too. It made it to the Matthew Nyes reposted it to his Instagram story, but with a little special twist, because he went into CapCut, took a clip from The Office of Dwight and Michael celebrating, and added the little captions of Nyesy and Wooler, which, first of all, he refers to himself in the third person.
So funny.
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll just, refer to yourself in the third person. But also, what it's better is what came after this. I don't know if you've seen this. I've sent it to you. I don't know if you've seen it, though, because you've been busy. Ooh. This is via Mark Masters. Don't even look for it. I want to read it to you. Don't look for it. I can see you looking for it.
You want a live reaction?
Yeah, I don't think you saw it. Via Mark Masters. Nice on Instagram post celebrating McMahon's extension. I'm an Office fan. I was sitting next to him on the bird, so it was funny I was making it while he was just sitting there. He deserves it with his play and his attitude off the ice. I'm really happy for him.
Oh.
Because we still don't do video for the show, for those who don't know, Marcie currently has her head in her hands and is shaking her head.
I actually can't
I
stand
am
him.
so endeared by this team. This team is so, like, if I wasn't a Leafs fan, I would see this and I'd instantly become endeared. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between, like, being a Leafs fan and loving a team, but then being endeared by the players as a fan is so nice and so, like, silly feeling, because you just feel all, like, silly, goofy inside, and you're like, this is too happy. Why are the vibes too high?
No, because, like, genuinely, the vibes on the team this year are just absolutely everything.
Yeah, but first of all, there's a couple things I want to say. One, the fact that he's like, Matthew Dice is a noted fan of The Office, which
of course he is.
So am I. I have like a little mini poster behind me where it's Michael Scott and it's the Wayne Gretzky quote. My cousin got it for me.
I referenced that tonight. I was at training and I made a reference to it and my friend looked at me and she was like, what the fuck?
You miss 100 of the shots. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. It's yeah, my cousin got it for me for my birthday. For my birthday one year. And so yeah, it's behind me now. I love it. It's so great. The other thing is too, is we knew they already sit next to each other on the plane based on Katie's miraculous, like if you thought that me putting together the Leafs locker room was impressive, I had visuals. Katie's plane seating plan is far more impressive.
It's done purely on vibes.
Because she has no like visuals to work with. I at least was able to like piece together like pictures and videos from like social media and stuff. But the fact that he calls the plane the bird, Matthew.
I can't
Matthew, call it a plane. Why do you call it a bird?
Matthew.
But also, I can't imagine like being like you're sitting on a plane, whatever. They're going to Philadelphia, and you're sitting there and you're giggling to yourself like on CapCut. He's on CapCut.
He was swinging his feet as well. It was like kicking his feet.
And you've got like, and you're Bobby McMann sitting next to him, and you're like, what is this guy doing on his phone?
You just look up and you're like, what?
And it's like making it on. The best part of it.
My favorite part about all of it is the fact that Joseph Woll reposted it.
I didn't know he knew how to do that. I didn't know that Joseph Woll knew how to repost a story on Instagram, okay? The man surprises me every day.
With a little gif of
Buddy the Elf.
And it is, oh my god, it is the most on-brand thing. Like,
because also at the same time, like, we have been calling this man an elf for like 2 years at this point. Right? Like, so we've been calling him an elf for way too long, and he's like, yeah, let me just use the elf kit. But like, I didn't know Joseph Woll knew how to repost a story on Instagram, because I don't even think I know really. I knew how to do that, but there's different. I didn't know he knew how to do that primarily because I only know how to do it if you get tagged in a story. And so, does Joseph Woll know more about Instagram than I do? Who knows?
Joseph Woll, genius.
Joseph Woll is an Instagram genius.
He knows what's up.
He knows what's up. But that's the thing where I'm like, okay, because, you know, there's an article from The Athletic that I like had totally lost, and then someone had found it for me, and shout out to them, because I was like, I literally spent like 30 minutes at work, like, trying to find it. Because the search function for The Athletic sucks. So if I want to find something, I have to search up at least like who I know is mentioned in the title of the article and then go the Athletic and scroll through that way, because you can't search on the website for the Athletic. Their search function is garbage. Okay, if you want to find anything, it's garbage. Hey, at the Athletic, fix it, please, for my sake.
Hire me to fix it.
They need to fix it because you.
I'll come up with a solution, and it's just you go onto like the homepage of the Athletic, and it's just every single article written about Joseph Wool ever. Because that's all you need.
No, because you search up, because they're like, oh, search a team, search an athlete, search a writer or whatever, and you search up. I want to be like, oh, I want to find every article you have that has ever mentioned Joseph Wool ever, and you search it, and maybe it's the first 2 results, and then everything else is not that. And it's like, give me Joseph Wool. Please, that's what I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for the Joseph Wool articles.
It's like I search for Joseph Wool stuff, and it comes up with like fucking NFL stuff, and I'm like, I don't care.
That's not what I'm here for. And like also at the same time, you have to pay for the Athletic. Like I pay you $1 a month because I have the student thing. Anyways, so it's so good. But yeah, like, you know that there was that rumor that started like I think it started about like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, where everyone thought that Mitch Marner was the TikTok admin, and then the Leafs rolled with it to the point where they would reply to comments, and if a word had an M in it, they would capitalize it and put 2 of them. Do you remember that? Because I remember, and they still do it too. Like it's, but it was like there was a peak of it. I do think Matthew Nyes is gunning for that spot in the conspiracy with his cap cut talents. I think Matthew Nyes. I would love to see this guy. Like that's the thing where I'm like in another like if he wasn't a professional hockey player, Matthew Nyes would be one of us. He would be on hockey Twitter, and he would make edits on hockey Twitter.
He'd make the most devastating ones as well.
He'd make the most emotionally devastating edits on Twitter. But like that's the thing where I'm like, oh, I know you would be like on here if you were not a professional hockey player and at one point had lived in John Tavares' basement.
That experience changes you as a person.
Experience changes you as a person. No, there was an art. I retweeted it, but maybe I can put it in the show notes or something. There was an article from ESPN where it talked about NHL rookies and how their lives have. I don't know. It was just about. It was followed. It talked to quite a few of the NHL rookies this season and just about like how they're finding things. And they once again put Matthew Nyes on blast for missing his first 2 power play meetings as a Leaf when he got called up, like when like Yu Min's season ended and then he joined the Leafs and then he missed the first 2 power play meetings. They put that on blast again. The poor guy.
No one will ever allow him to just have a moment of peace.
No, because that was like literally it was put into like one of his first articles of calling up being like, oh yeah, and he missed like he like is taking advice from Joseph Wool, who has played all of 7 games in his NHL career.
Oh, I do love it.
Oh yeah. God, the Leafs. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about the vibes of the Leafs because like we have nothing else to talk about except for like Yarncroke's on the top line now instead of Nylander. So Sheldon's making a change.
Yeah, we do keep saying Sheldon do something. He took that quite literally, and he did something.
He did a thing. And that is essentially just having. You know, like, I think Matthews Yarncroke will work, but just that's because you can play Cal Yarncroke anywhere in the Leafs lineup. Like, he's such a versatile player that, like, he can play anywhere. He can play on your top line because I think he was doing that last season at one point. I almost want to say, and like maybe I'm wrong, but I have an inkling suspicion that there was like a point last year where the top line was like Kerfoot, Matthews, and Yarncroke.
Sorry, the thought of that makes me giggle.
But like, I know, like, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that never happened. But also in the back of my head, I'm like, I remember seeing that and like getting mad about it because I was like, this is stupid.
It's a thing of nightmares.
I was like, this is dumb. But also at the same time, this is a very Sheldon Keefe thing to do. But yeah, so
just expect it at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, Yarncroke is also slotting into the top power play unit in place of Marner, who is unlikely to play tonight against Philadelphia. Unfortunate. Sucks. He's still out from a lower body injury that he suffered against Boston. Because Samsonov also to start tonight, which maybe will lead to Wool starting on Saturday in the Leafs St. Pat's uniforms.
Please, because I love seeing that man in green.
Do you think he'll break out the green suit and celebrate? Oh, he would.
Oh, he would. He'd go full green.
But yeah, way to go, Joseph. There was also a couple of blue rooms as well. Like there was the Nick Robertson blue room that we reacted to. Not reacted. Well, it came out while we were recording the podcast. I cut out our reaction because I was like, no one needs to see that. No one needs to hear that. But yeah, there was a Mitch Marner blue room. And I tweeted about this, but there is one thing I will say. Mitch Marner talks about being a road roommate with Austin Matthews for 4 years. He said like 4 years, so I'm sure he was exaggerating because this is Mitch Marner we're talking about. And I'm sure he was, whatever, it's 3 years. Because the CBA was changed in 2013 coming out of the lockout that once you're off of your 3-year ELC, you don't have to have a road roommate. But if they were actually road roommates for 4 years or like 4 seasons, Mitch Marner, you didn't have to be. There was 1 extra year there. Anyways, read into that as you will.
Yeah. After the phrasing of some of his sentences in the blue room, it makes a lot of sense.
Me and Austin were grinding.
Happy Pride.
Yeah, also as well, just because we're gonna be angry and mad about it. Benoit projected to be another healthy scratch tonight.
Sheldon.
So that Sheldon Keefe can
walls.
so that Sheldon Keefe can play Timothy Liljegren. Because that worked out really well against Montreal. Yeah, back to the ELC thing. The only 2 guys who are on their ELCs with the Leafs right now is Nyes and Nicholas Robertson. Who wouldn't like each other as roommates.
Oh, I love the fact that it keeps getting brought up as well. Like everyone, Nyes
No, they keep throwing. They keep throwing poor Matthew Nyes under the bus at every opportunity. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, the thing that like pisses me off about Benoit is like the Benoit McCabe combination is so obviously working.
Oh God.
And you're right now putting McCabe with Brody, which we know doesn't work.
Not work.
We tried it last year. It didn't work. So, like, why are we doing this again? Why are we still here?
Sheldon. I feel like I just need to, like, shake some sense into him.
Like, why is this something we're still, like, exploring?
Like, why is Ben White is too good to be scrapped? Stop it. I feel I need to, like, tell him off like a parent tells off, like, their toddler.
I'm like, I don't know why. Anyways, we can, like, I just want to know why. Like,
Yeah.
yes, you want to get Liljegren in some playing time, but he obviously shows that he can't, like, it doesn't work, like, especially when it, like, you're doing it and it involves, like, dissolving the D pair that you have that is working so well. Like, that's the thing where I'm like, why are we doing this? Because you're not replacing it with something better at the end of the day. Also, as well, I have written down here, noted Marley's legend Josh Hosang released a rap album this week, and one of the tracks was titled Poppy for MVP, notably a reference to Austin Matthews. And not gonna lie, it's actually kind of good.
Like, it's not personally my sort of thing, but it's good.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. I'm like, we both listen to music. It's not the type of music I listen to. I don't listen to rap very, very much, if at all. Like, I don't. I'll listen to, like, the odd Eminem song, but I don't think Eminem really, like, at the end of the day, you're like, okay, yeah, sure, so does everyone else, Emma. But it was actually, like, really, it was good. I was like, oh, okay. I would never play it in front of my parents because of sheer amount of times the N-word is said. Cannot be playing that in front of my white suburban parents. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Something tells me it might not be quite that thing.
No. But then also as well, he signed a deal with ECHL's Florida Everblades, which, good for him.
Yeah.
Getting back on the horse. Good for you, Josh Hosang. I just remember the whole thing surrounding him where he wanted to wear number 66. Not even for Pittsburgh. Like, it was for, like, the Flames or something. Or somewhere. And he wanted to wear number 6. And people got so mad about it. Because they were like, how dare you wear Mario Lemieux's number on a team that is not the Pittsburgh Penguins? How dare you want to wear Mario Lemieux's number? Like, Mario Lemieux's number is not, it's not like it's Wayne Gretzky, where it's retired league-wide. Mario Lemieux's number is only retired in Pittsburgh. So, yes, he can wear 66. It's fine. But
I respect the balls.
Yeah, I think there was, like, a really good reason why he wanted to wear it. I don't know if it's like a Oh, yes. Yeah, on the Islanders as a homage. It was even as an homage to Mario Lemieux as well. You know what? You know what's really funny? So Josh Hosang was the second player to wear the number after Lemieux in a regular season game.
Okay.
Guess the first. Do you want a team? Do you want a team? I'll give you a team.
Oh, God.
Calgary Flames.
I'm not good at guessing. You're gonna have to just hit me with it.
You're gonna hate yourself for not getting this. It's Thomas James Brodie. Our very own TJ Brody is the first player.
Thomas James.
Toronto's very own TJ Brody, but because it was when he was with Calgary Flames at the time, because that's who he spent most of his career with. That's who drafted him.
Thomas James.
Yeah.
Oh
the best part is that like there's no controversy around him wearing the number. He didn't. Like here, like that's the thing where I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
The whole thing is dumb, but like that's the thing. Like, and apologies to Josh Hosang, because actually I don't. That's what I knew. That's what I always like knew him as. Before he came to the Marlies, was like he was the guy that like everyone was mad about because he was choosing to wear number 66 for the Islanders, a team Mario Lemieux did not play for nor own. But yeah, that was Josh Hosang's like legacy in my head. Now he's gonna be the guy with the rap album. So, yeah. Oh, did you see the video of the goalie fight?
I did. John Gibson. That. John Gibson, that was hot. Please do it again.
Who would have thought that at this point, like in the year 2024, we would be thirsting over 30-year-old John Gibson.
Hey, no, do not disrespect 30-year-old John Gibson. I am an enjoyer.
Why did I think he was older than he actually was?
Because he plays for the Ducks. It ages you.
Yeah. Ages you as an individual.
Having to play with Trevor Zegras ages you.
Oh, don't you mean NFL player Trevor Zagras? Did you see that video?
Trevor Zagras.
Did you see that video?
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh my god, that video is absolutely hilarious. Like, I love just ignoring all phonetic rules when looking at a last name and going, yes, Trevor Zagras of the Anaheim Ducks. An NFL team. But yeah, no, it was between John Gibson and Leafs legend Peter Mrazek, where they fought each other, and I think it wasn't even really like that big of a fight. Like John Gibson just got like Mrazek's like jersey over top of his head, and so Mrazek couldn't really see anything, so he was just kind of going like this. But they did fight. Like John Gibson did like skate down. Like you know what? I'm gonna say it. The hottest part about that was not the actual fighting. It was the stick toss he did when he was skating down.
Yeah.
It was the stick, because it's just the way he like tossed it out of the way. That was the hottest part about the whole thing.
Oh, John, do it again.
That one part of just him tossing it aside.
Oh, the work of art.
But yeah, that's. But I mean, like, Jeremy Swayman somewhere is like wishing that was him, wishing he could have a go. We don't get goalie fights very often anymore. They don't let, like, refs don't let it happen, which is unfortunate. Let goalies fight. Like, we're having all this discussion about Matt Rempe, and he got suspended 4 games now. Welcome to the NHL, kid. Already picked up your first suspension.
Insane.
Which is insane. But like, whatever, like, we're all this discussion. Let the goalies fight. Why are we not letting the goalies fight more? They, if anything, have more protection out of anybody else. And also, if they fall backwards, I don't think they're going to be likely to hit their head because they're just going to turtle.
just say, help.
I've fallen and I can't get up. I don't know. Like, that's the thing where I'm like
flip them over.
Flip them over. All right. Yeah. But like, because I always will think about the fight that never was between Marc-Andre Fleury and Jordan Bennington. Oh, I would have paid, like...
I never thought that I could miss a fight that never happened.
A fight that never was. It's not like it was unfortunate, but like, yeah. I know, just let goalies fight. All right, I have a couple things. Like, we're gonna keep this pretty casual and pretty unstructured, just because we have no Leafs game to talk about, and there's been no news.
We'll get the suit pick soon.
We will get, we will get the suit pick soon. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if they've, because it's like so weird how, anyways. Maybe we won't, because like sometimes when it's like one away game, we don't get them, and then I'm really upset because we don't get suit picks.
Yeah. We want suit picks. Please.
We want suit picks. We really do love the suit picks, but we can talk Pittsburgh, I guess. We can do an overall thing on Pittsburgh. I had a couple of things in my notes about Pittsburgh. One of them is Michael Bunting. I did not start where you thought I was going to start. I know, we're going chronologically here. Michael Bunting scores his first goal with his new team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, in Ottawa on Thursday. And then Pittsburgh goes on to lose in overtime to Ottawa. Is there panic in Pittsburgh?
Michael Bunting here to save them, I guess. And then a little bit. Oh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like Michael Bunting scored the game-tying goal to send it to overtime, and then Pittsburgh lost in overtime to Ottawa. It's a little bit almost worrying in Pittsburgh for sure. Just about the way things are. And I'm not gonna go all panic mode in the fact of like Sidney Crosby's leaving, he's gonna go to Colorado and he's gonna play with Nathan McKinnon, and that's how it's gonna go. Or he's gonna go to Boston because he's gonna play with Brad Marchand or like whatever. Or like he's gonna sign with the Leafs. But like I do think that like it is a thing where it's like Kyle Dubas is going to have to make a decision at some point, and it's really hard with that team because of the way that their contracts are built. Like the players that you have under contract, where it's like you have guys that if you were a team dedicating yourself to a rebuild, maybe wouldn't have signed. But again, Kyle Dubas did not sign these contracts, but like you have Evgeny Malkin which is like I'm not hating on Evgeny Malkin. I think he's playing underratedly well still. Well, like he's 37. But like he signed for 2 more years after this one. And you also have like Chris Letang, who signed for 4 more years after this one. Erik Karlsson is at $10 million for 3 more years after this one. Sidney Crosby, like he's got 1 more year left on his deal. Could he go somewhere? Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like that's the big what if.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen with Sid?
Especially because your team, it's an older team for sure. That's no secret. But even like without even looking at the age of the players, just looking at the status of the contracts they have like no entry level contracts signed to their roster right now. And they don't have a ton of picks. Like They have a couple. They don't have a first-round pick for this year. But they have one. Well, they have one for the year after that, but it's a top 10 protected. They have, and then they have, for the most part, all of their picks in 2026. But it's like, what do you do?
Cry.
Because it's cry. Like, this is the thing where it's like, okay, you rebuild, but like, what pieces are you keeping around? You're not necessarily going to keep around, like, I don't know, like, if you're looking towards a rebuild, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you just got too many guys for like, I don't know. It's unfortunate for sure, especially with the slide that they've like this bad stretch that they've had of games of like just not scoring at all. Right?
Yeah.
And as if things couldn't go worse for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, I still don't know if this is real or not. And that's where I'm like, if they've just done this all to dupe us, I'm gonna be very impressed. But also at the same time, I'm gonna be disappointed because this is probably the most fun thing we've ever had, like, regarding NHL news that didn't happen on the ice in a very long time. But tonight was supposed to be Jaromir Jagr bobblehead night, and everybody in attendance at the game tonight against the San Jose Sharks in Pittsburgh was supposed to walk home with a lovely Jaromir Jagr bobblehead.
Not anymore.
Then via the Pittsburgh Penguins themselves. I gotta just pull up the tweet. Via the Pittsburgh Penguins themselves. The Penguins announced today that the shipment carrying the Jagr bobbleheads for tonight's game have been stolen en route to Pittsburgh. As a result, the bobbleheads will not be distributed at tonight's game, but will be distributed at a later date. And then it had an official, like, PR statement that was posted to the official Pittsburgh Penguins website, where talking about how fans will receive a voucher that they can exchange for the bobblehead at a later date. There was even a statement from President of Business Operations, Kevin Acklin, where it was like, we are shocked to be a victim of cargo theft, and we are working closely with local and federal authorities on the investigation. Federal, you're telling me you got the FBI involved in this? Jaromir
It's a
Jagr
very serious crime.
Well, this is an unfortunate incident adds to the legend of Jaromir Jagr, who will be in attendance as our guest at tonight's game. We look forward to resolving this theft and delivering the prized Jagr bobbleheads to their rightful homes with our fans. Yeah, but like, I want to know what you would do with 18,000 bobbleheads. Like, imagine you're like, oh, look at this cargo shipment. Let's just take, this cargo, and you open it up, and it is 18,000 Jagr bobbleheads. What do you even do with them? Because you can't sell them, because then you'll have, like, everyone knows what they look like, and everyone, like, you'll have the entire Pittsburgh Penguins organization, like, coming down on you. Like, they'll find you. You'll have Iceberg show up at your house
with a gun.
With a gun. But, like, then the Pittsburgh Penguins release a video about, like, few hours later, 3 hours later, with the hashtag JagrWatch. And it's a video of Jaromir Jagr in a car, like, with a custom license plate, going to hunt down his missing bobbleheads. Which, like, a lot of people are like, wow, I'm very impressed you could get Jaromir Jagr to come in to PPG Paint's, like, arena and like, film this. He was there at practice this morning. Like, he was at morning skate this morning for the Penguins. I'm sure all it is a hit, especially with the stuff he was posting on his Instagram story today. I don't know if you saw all of that. The guy is really playing into the bit. But if this was all some elaborate PR stunt, I will have to applaud
Deeply respect it.
A deep respect for the Pittsburgh Penguins social media team if they did this all just to create more hype around the game of these bobbleheads. Like if it's like at like during one of intermissions, it's like, surprise, we found the bobbleheads. And it's like that one clip of Sharky. Like, have you seen that clip of Sharky getting stuck? But it's like that, but it's Jaromir Jagr like rappelling down from the rafters, throwing bobbleheads out.
And you get a bobblehead. And you get a bobblehead.
Everyone gets a bobblehead. We'll be handing them out at the doors when you guys leave.
After we lose.
After we lose to the San Jose Sharks. Who right now are fighting for last in the league to get the best chance at Macklin Celebrini. But yeah, but like, I still like don't know what you would do with like 18. At the end of the day, what does one do with 18,000 Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads?
Well, we're about to find out because surprise, surprise, they're actually in the corner of my room right now. I stole them. I am the thief.
There were some really good ones. There's a lot of people insinuating that the Philadelphia Flyers organization has something to do with it. People being like, you know what? John Tortorella's suspension, like the timing of his suspension, a little bit suspicious. John Tortorella gets suspended for 2 games. And while he's still suspended for 2 games, because he is suspended for tonight's game against the Leafs, we will not be seeing John Tortorella behind the bench against Toronto. But while he's suspended and has all this free time because he doesn't have to be at a game, these Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads go missing.
It's a very convenient coincidence.
Very convenient. I think, you know what? We need to solve this mystery once and for all. First, we tackle the mystery socks. And then we tackle the Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads. And soon we will be able to open our own hockey-related mystery-solving business, where what we do is provide the services like Sherlock Holmes and solve our own mysteries.
Exactly.
We solve the hockey mysteries so you don't have to. That'd be a great TV show. Netflix? Actually, no, I don't want to work with... That's like, it's got to be like on cable. Like real TV. So like, I don't know, ABC. I don't want to work with Fox, but like NBC, call me. NBC would pick that up. NBC, call me. You know where to find me. Our email address is in the show notes.
Please.
We
need something to do in the off season.
We do need something to do in the off season. And this is just like a preview of like what the off season's gonna look like for us. Because it's gonna be a lot like this. I did have some other non-hockey related good news for Marcie. I don't know if she knew that it started this week, but a new season of our favorite competition reality TV show started this week.
It did.
The Amazing Race. We love The Amazing Race.
We do.
We especially loved last season. I think last season was just so good. But that's because we had a team that we really, really liked.
We really liked this team. And it's for the most us reason too.
Yeah, it is, because one of them reminded us of Joseph Wool.
Well, I think that was the point that we realized we actually do need like help. And it
was like, okay, in our defense, it was during the summer when we didn't hear from him because he had literally disappeared off the face of the planet Earth and had gone to Europe and hiked through Europe. without
I
his
still
phone.
think you should come and hike through Bradford. You know, we've got there's a great hike between the 2 train stations. That'll
Well,
take
I
him
think
a good 20 minutes.
I think he would really enjoy the trails in Gatineau Park. As someone who did them and then felt like I was dying. Don't hike
Get him to the
hungover,
Lake
kids.
District.
Don't
Joseph
hike
Wall.
hungover, kids. It doesn't end well.
Joseph Wall, you would love the Lake District. That's my proposal.
This is how we just get Joseph Wool to visit where we live.
We're just like, look, all these hikes you can do.
Yeah. Bobbleheads. Whoops. Where did they go? Unfortunate. But it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, like, how do you get rid of them? And like, you can't like sell them on eBay. It's like, it's not like you stole a crate full of jerseys. You stole a crate full of like giveaway bobbleheads.
Like you just
so like is it one of those
around...
things where it's like every time someone comes over to your house, you're just like, hey, do you want a bobblehead? And you open up your closet and you got like 100 bobbleheads and like 100 Jagr bobbleheads in this closet,
and it's just like lined with bobbleheads.
The trench coat. Oh my god. Yeah, I do. Okay, we haven't talked about this in a while. Surprisingly enough, we haven't talked about the playoff race in the East in a hot second. Considering the fact that, like, you know, we do talk about the Leafs a lot, but we don't talk a lot about the playoff in the East. And it's interesting because the Red Wings are having a little bit of a slump, I will say. They're having a bad stretch of games. To the point where the New York Islanders have tied them in points in the standings in terms of being on par for the wildcard spot. And it still leaves the Caps, like, it still leaves Washington and Buffalo in the mix as well. So, like, could the Buffalo Sabres make them? Now, that'll be the story of the season. If the Buffalo Sabres make the playoffs and end the curse
to the playoff.
Get Jeff Skinner to the playoffs, because I don't. Has this man ever played a playoff game in his entire life? He is not. He's 31 years old. It's like being 25 and still living in your parents' basement.
Just a little bit sad, a little bit tragic.
A little bit tragic for Jeff Skinner.
All the time.
Everyone brings it up all the time. A little bit tragic for Jeff Skinner.
So when are you gonna move out? And it's like, one day.
One day he will move out.
Gotcha.
I did not realize that this guy played 82 games in his first full season at 18. Way to go, Jeff.
Go.
Oh, he's like 10 points away from 1,000. Is he? No, that's 10. He's 10 games away from 1,000. My bad. He's like 400 points away from 1,000, but he is 10 games away from 1,000 games.
I was gonna say that's very good, Jeff.
Way to go, Jeff. No, but Jeff he's 10 games away from 1,000, so he only had 1,000 games this year.
Oh, Jeff. Stop, that's actually gonna be like the only day ever.
That's gonna be so exciting. Who is it? Who is it gonna be?
Ooh.
I'm looking it up.
Good question.
Teams. Buffalo. Talk about Buffalo Sabres Pride Night right now. Because that's
it's Buffalo Sabres Pride Night. And I'm very excited about it. Like, yeah, they announced that and I was just like, oh yay! I saw oh my god, I can't remember who, but someone tweeted about the Buffalo Gabers, which I chuckled. I did have a bit of a giggle. I think that was very clever. But ooh,
Okay, so Jeff Skinner's 1,000th game is gonna be at home against the Washington Capitals on April 2nd, but his 999th game, if he plays all of the games between now and then, is against the Toronto Maple Leafs on March 30th.
oh,
I know.
could have been
I had to
perfect.
I had to double count a couple of times because I was like, no, within one. But yeah. So big up to the Pride. I think the Sabres are one of those organizations that does a great job with their Pride Night. So very excited to see that. Minnesota Wild also had their Pride Night recently. Big fan of Brock Faber using the Pride tape as sock tape, in the words of Dr. Lexi Brown. He's a ingenuitive ally.
Oh,
what are you looking for? I always get scared.
oh no, I'm just doing some digging because the Buffalo Sabres are giving away a team signed Pride jersey. However,
Do you need me to enter this?
There is the one Mr. Tage Thompson, which I'm not one to speculate, but considering some of the things he's liked on Instagram before, am I surprised? Not massively.
It's so his signature is not on the team signed Pride jersey.
No, I'm double checking now, but I'm also really bad at spotting signatures. But someone on Twitter is. I don't actually know what Tage Thompson's signature looks like because I do not care for the man. Apologies to my friend Holly, who loves him very much.
He's like freakishly tall. Like, it's really weird. You don't realize that he's so tall, and then until it's like 3-on-3 overtime, and it's him and Owen Power, and like I don't know who else they would throw out there. Jeff Skinner. Or like Dylan Cousins or something. Sorry to Jeff Skinner. But like Don Granato throws out like Tage Thompson and Owen Power on the same 3-on-3 overtime like line, and you're like, who are these freaks that got let onto the ice? Because they're crazy tall. They're both 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, I don't think his signature's on there. But I'm doing some research, some digging. But yeah, that's a food for thought. Happy Pride Night!
Happy Pride. But yeah, also as well, Leafs legend. He did play for the Leafs, right? Leafs legend Connor Brown. This is really bad if he didn't play for the Leafs, but I'm pretty sure he did. If he didn't, I'm just... No, he did.
He
okay.
did.
Yeah. He played he played like 3 full seasons. Yeah. Oh, we drafted him too. So yeah, Leafs legend Connor Brown.
Oh dear.
One of the many guys who went over to Edmonton. He played for he got it all covered. He did Leafs, Sens, Oilers. That's like I think
what more could you want?
Of the guys who have ever I think 50% of the guys who have ever played for the Leafs have played for those 3 teams.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage at this point.
Rite of passage. He scored his first goal of the season against Washington in a 7-2 blowout.
His first since 2022, I think. I don't want to confirm it, but I'm 99% sure it was the first.
I can pull up his hockey DB page right now. Yeah, you're right. But like in his defense, like in his defense though, he played all of 4 games last season with the Washington Capitals. So.
That's still 4 chances to score.
He's a defenseman.
No, good for him. Well done, Phil.
Good for him, though. It was, it only took him 55 games. Is this when I say something ridiculous? Like, if you put me in 55 NHL games, I think I could score a goal.
Oh, I could easily score a goal if you gave me 55 games.
Yeah, I'll just sit there in front of the net with my stick out.
Yeah, it's like I used to score all the time in field hockey. Bet.
Wasn't there a goal this season for the Leafs where bounced off someone's ass? Wasn't that like a goal?
That is a goal that has happened.
Because I remember that. We made so many jokes about it.
Oh dear.
But yeah, so anyways, way to go, Connor Brown.
Big up Connor Brown. Leafs
Big
legend.
up Connor. Leafs legend Connor Brown. But yeah, I just.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The time of the night has arrived in which I have to defend Joseph Woll because so
go ahead.
The Leafs posted. Let me get this up.
Oh, they had their sick kids. No, it was not sick kids. It was their Make-A-Wish. Where they have sick children come through their locker room. It's their Make-A-Wish practice. They watch the practice, and then they meet with the guys afterwards in the locker room. It's really sweet. They do it every year.
And there's a picture of Joseph Woll. And I reposted the picture onto Twitter. And I had, on my tweet alone, at least 4 people commented on how skinny his legs are. Leave Joseph Woll and his little legs alone. He is a goalie. Don't scare. Let him live.
Like, that's the thing where I'm like, okay, guys, like, first of all, the man is 6'3". He's tall.
Yeah.
Naturally, his limbs are going to look more elongated. Have you ever seen a basketball player? They all look like stick figures. They all it all looks like their legs are really skinny, but that's just because they're really tall. Okay?
It's like, do you expect...
Also, he's a goalie. He's not skating. He's not going to end up looking like Sidney Crosby. We can't all be Marty St. Louis.
As much as I'd like for him to have legs like Sidney Crosby, he doesn't.
But not even like that bad. Like, that's the thing where I'm like, that was a bad picture of him.
Yeah, it wasn't his best angle.
No.
Because, yeah, it's not the best angle for a picture of his legs. But guys, stop being mean. You'll make him sad. So Joseph Woll, if you're listening to this, your legs are fine. Don't listen to the mean people on the internet.
Also, yeah, like if you literally look at I'm now looking at pictures of his legs. Jesus Christ. This is what you do to me. But I'm like, you
Sports
look at like any
journalism,
other
baby.
if you look at like any other picture of him, his legs look fine. He's just tall and
Let him
is a
live.
goalie. Or
Yeah, so
Joseph is
welcome
just
to the
getting
podcast where we would just sit and look at pictures of Joseph Hall's legs.
that makes us sound so creepy. You do realize that. That makes us sound absolutely creepy. And if we ever want a chance of getting him on the show and having a conversation with him, we can't
Do
be
not
saying
listen to this episode. No, but like we're defending him.
We are defending him. We do defend him quite a bit as well. I
A lot.
was
It's all we ever do.
a lot. Yeah, no, like look, we also have gone, I think, multiple episodes without talking about the Leafs goaltending in terms of where it is, of who you start. Because like that was the craziest thing I took away from trade deadline was the fact that there was a point and I'm sure it was probably because I needed to fill the time on air because no one was making trades at this point, but it was like there was a period in time in which an actual genuine conversation that was being had on nationally broadcasted sports television was, hey, the Leafs should look into finding a way to trade off Mitch Marner so that they can acquire Jacob Markstrom. Because the Leafs need to improve their goaltending.
Like, sorry, we're not like December 2023 Leafs right now. We're not struggling.
Even then, like it was like you didn't panic. You don't panic at that point. You had Martin Jones who's doing fine. It was an easier stretch in the Leafs schedule. They were playing weaker teams, and Joseph Woll was injured, so it's not like he was like bad. He is a good option for you when he is healthy and can walk. And like Ilya Samsonov came back, and like his style of gameplay has always been one that requires confidence because he's just like he doesn't rely he relies more on feel than like on feel and reaction than technique when it comes to how he stops pucks. That's just always how he's been, and if you want him to change to be a more technical goalie, it's not going to happen.
No.
So like he relies heavily on confidence, and so the confidence just wasn't there, and now he has it back, and so now he's fantastic. He's lights out.
Exactly. Like you've got to get like us level of board to start saying trade Mitch Marner because the goaltending is bad.
Yeah, trade Mitch Marner so you'll have the cap room to get if I remember correctly, Jacob Markstrom is in his mid-30s. Yeah, he's 34. Yeah, to get 34-year-old Jacob Markstrom. And I know the age for goalies works differently and like they can play much later into their career. Like Craig Anderson and Marc-Andre Fleury is examples of that, but like, oh yes, because we're going to offload 27-year-old Mitch Marner for 34-year-old Jacob Markstrom. That is something that we are going to look at as an organization. That is something that Brad Treliving will actually consider doing.
Some people just hurt my brain.
Anyways, also, the news came out 2 days ago that Jacob Markstrom is day-to-day with a lower body injury, and the Calgary Flames have recalled Dustin Wolf.
Yay!
So,
little guy.
We're not cheering because Jacob Markstrom is hurt. We're cheering because we like Dustin Wolf. Yeah. Let's make this absolutely clear before people think that we were
cheering for injuries. We do not like injuries. We have just experienced a Joseph Woll injury.
Yeah, we don't like injuries. We've gone through a Joseph Woll injury. Hopefully, I will never like to do that ever again. That was miserable. That sucked. I hated it. But yeah, so
not a good time for us.
It was not a good time for us. No, I think if you listen to the show, you'd be able to To know that.
Yeah, Cal, if you listen to the show. But
Yeah, Cal doesn't. So funny. We've had Cal on the show. He doesn't
he
listen to
doesn't
it.
listen to it.
One day, or like what we could just hold it over his head and be like, hey, if you listen to the show, we'll have you back on.
Mm.
We'll have
We have to get Joseph Wall on because he'll listen to that. We'll just message him like, hey, Mr. Joseph Wall, goalie for the Maple Leafs. Will you please come on the podcast so our friend will listen to
it? No, because then but no, Cal then will just listen to that one episode. So we have to get, if we want Cal to.
But if we just tell him that Joseph Wall's on Joseph Wall's our new co-host.
We have new. Oh my god! If we get Joseph, we're not gonna get Joseph Wall as a co-host. That's not gonna work. Man's busy. We record these at we usually are recording these 4:30 before a game.
Well, he could be like the occasional co-host.
Only on off days. Only on non-Leaf game days. Which is next Monday.
Oh,
next week.
God.
Oh, but I can't believe we're already nearing St. Patrick's Day.
Crazy.
Do you have any hot plans for St. Patrick's Day?
My housemate's Irish, so we are getting absolutely blasted.
That should be fun. I might do something casual and easy and light with friends of mine. We might go out for dinner and I'll have 2 beers and that'll be it. And then I'll go home and I'll be asleep by 9:30 because I got work in the morning the next day and I got to go into the office on Monday, that day anyways. I have to go into work. So it means I have to wake up early because actually, no, that's the week after. I don't like staying out late. I'm getting old.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll have a pint of Guinness for you.
Thank you, because I don't like Guinness. So,
which I think is a criminal offense.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I'd like it if I had it not in Canada.
Yeah, no. This is you. Come here, so we can give you good Guinness.
That's what I have
because
to
as someone who has experienced a really shit pint of Guinness before, it makes a difference.
It does, but I don't know. At least now, if you gasp at your phone, you know what I like about being past the trade deadline is that if you gasp at your phone, I know it's not going to be because someone got traded.
So now I'm just gonna have to come up with really outlandish things to just gasp at my phone and then pretend something's happened. I go oh, Sidney Crosby's immediately announced his retirement starting now, and then you cry. Oh dear. See, this is what the summer's gonna be like. I hope everyone's prepared.
Yeah, I hope everyone's prepared for about 3 months of this. Not exactly 3 months. We're probably going to take some time off during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in the middle of nowhere in Scotland for 3 weeks.
Again?
Yep, again.
Same time of year?
Fingers crossed. No, it's mid-July to early August this year.
Oh, okay. So it's the boring part of the summer when it comes to hockey.
It's the part of the summer where it gets really slow.
So maybe we will take some time off, and then if there's a major signing or something that happens, I'll hop on and be like, "Hey guys, it's just me today."
No, you just have me crackling away on stood on this beach in rural Scotland with the crackliest phone service that cuts out every 5 seconds. I'll just be like, "Wait, who got signed?" And it'll take me about 3 days to actually figure it out.
Yeah, so at least it's like the boring part of the summer. So maybe we will take time off. That'll be nice.
Yeah, because as much as I love recording a podcast with you, I don't think I'll be able to make it work.
Or I'll just have other people on. It'll be like me, and then I'll have like a rotating cast of guests. This is when we get Joseph Wool on the show.
Stop. Don't even say that. It's so mean.
No. That time of year, that's when he goes like and does like hikes through the Swiss Alps. So
maybe I'll hike through the part of Scotland now.
He would like the Scottish Highlands. Is that where you're going to be, the Highlands?
Yep, Highlands.
I'm so good at this game. Look at me knowing my UK geography. I'm so smart.
Just be like, hey, Joseph, would you like to come see an archaeological dig in the Scottish Highlands? For absolutely no reason whatsoever. I just think you'd find it really interesting. Hey, girl. And then I'll just be like, oh, and then he'll walk up and I'll be like, oh my God, is that Joseph Wall? No way. What are you doing here, my friend?
Recognize him this time instead of him being not getting recognized.
No, I'll like sit there in a Leafs hat. I'll get a Joseph Wall t-shirt, and I'll just be sat there and I'll walk past and I'll just make eye contact with him and just go, just completely blank him. That'd be funny. But I'd also feel really mean, so I'd have to apologize afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, also not hockey related, but some good news. The Bear has been renewed for season 4.
Really?
Season 3 and season 4 will be filmed back to back.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This is lovely. Oh, big fans of the Bear on this show.
It's great news for my mum as well, because I got her into it, and then she sent me a text and she was like, where's season 3? And I was
filming
like,
it right now.
I was like, Lindsay, babe, you have to wait a minute.
Down, Lindsay.
And then she got really upset because she was like, I want more. I want to watch more of it now. Oh my
God. I got Simon and his parents into it, and it's a show that really stresses his mom out. But they love it. So I'm really excited to have them, inform them of the good news. I don't know if I'll see them before I inform them of the good news, but who knows? I don't know the next time I'm gonna see them. But if anything, he'll tell them. And but it's a show that really stresses his mom out, which is really funny because I've watched rom-coms with Simon where he has to we have to pause the movie and he has to walk a lap. He has to take a breather from a rom-com because this man cannot do secondhand embarrassment. He's gonna,
he's real for that though. I understand that.
Well, we were watching Bridget Jones's Diary, and we got to the last 15 minutes, and he had to take a 10-minute breather to get through that last scene where they fight each other in the street. Oh. You know what part I'm talking about? Yeah. We had to take a break, and he paused it, and he wouldn't let me restart. I wanted to unpause the movie so we could finish. We had 10 minutes left. I was like, I want to finish this movie. I'm getting tired. I want to go to bed. And he's like, no. You gotta give me a minute. I can't watch it right now. It's he's actually gonna absolutely hate me for putting him on blast like this, because he listens to the show and he's gonna be like, why did you expose me like that? Why did you throw me under the bus that way? Because he hates fun when I do it.
That's your answer, Simon.
Because it's fun. I do it all the time. I'll tweet about it. He'll get the notification. He's like, why did you do that? I was like, because the people need to know the way that you think.
Yeah, the people need to know the Simon law.
The Simon lore, the lore surrounding my boyfriend.
Give it 3 days. There'll be a Simon wiki.
Not the Simon fan wiki.
Little Simon Stan accounts popping up on Twitter. Oh dear.
But yeah. I don't know. I feel is that all we've got today? I'm just kind of waiting for suit pics, and I don't see everyone else is posting their suit pics but us.
We want suit pics. Oh my God, Paddy took my #1 spot on Duolingo. That's really rude. I have beef with someone called Paddy for knocking me out of the top spot. Ooh. Oh my god, wait, someone's at the Leafs game tonight.
Really?
Yeah. I love when that happens.
I love that too. I'm not at the Leafs game tonight. I did go to 2 this season.
I will go to a Leafs game at some point in my life.
We will get
I
you
hope.
there.
One day. My mum keeps saying like, oh, if we win the lottery, we'll take you. And I'm like, Lindsay, half the time you don't even do the lottery. It's tragic. The thing is, she's had to start like putting restrictions on it because it's like, she's like, oh, if we win the lottery, I'll take you to like a Leafs game. And I'm like, so if we win it at all, it's like, oh, you win £20. And I'm like, well, we won the lottery. Pack your bags.
We're staying at Emma's.
Road trip, family trip to Emma's.
Show up at my Ottawa apartment.
We're just knocking on it like, hey, you got room for 4?
Yeah, in my 3-bedroom apartment that I share with 2 other people. 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and there's 3 of us already living here. Not a very big apartment.
Oh.
Should we end it here though? Because there's a Leafs game that starts in 20 minutes. And I know we're going to end the recording. Stay chat. Or did you forget to do your fantasy lineup? Don't forget to do that.
I'm doing
Oh
dear.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
don't
no, I
forget
did
to
change it.
I changed it this afternoon because I remembered. But yeah.
Oh my god, I'm losing so bad in one of my leagues.
Well, in the league that we're
42-12.
Oof. Well, in the league that we're both in, I'm beating Cal 57.5 to 13.
Well done. That's what we like to see.
I'm on a 5-week win streak right now, going into the last week of the season, the regular season for us.
People that don't listen to the podcast do not deserve to win.
This is how we get Cal. It's funny because Cal is like Cindy. Cal actually, you know what? Cal's. Oh
no!
What? Via David Alter. Report. #Leafs. Mitch Marner was revealed to have suffered a high ankle sprain last week, but a mild one. You're actually kidding me. That is the 3rd Leaf this season. That is the...
Oh my god. That
is the 3rd Leaf this season to suffer a high ankle sprain.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so sick of seeing high ankle sprain. I'm so sick of it. David Alter, I love you. Love you, David Alter. But this is... According to TSN Hockey Insider Darren Jagr, the Toronto Maple Leafs star forward sustained a high ankle sprain. Normally that's problematic. Yeah. No shit.
Oh, really?
Oh, no way. I can tell you that. The Toronto Maple Leafs believe it's very minor. Jagr said on Thursday they got a second opinion to make sure it's been managed correctly. He hasn't been on the ice this week, so wasn't he skating yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, Darren. He hasn't, so I don't suspect he'll be ready to go Saturday. Oh, that's upsetting, but it's possible. They're not ruling him out, but they do want to make sure that they do take the time necessary to make sure he gets the treatment that he needs. Okay. Marner appeared to injure himself, thanks. In the second period of the Maple Leafs 4-1 loss, the Bruins on March 7th, down 2-1 in the game. Marner spun around in the net, and his leg appeared to have buckled underneath as he attempted to shot on goal. The forward remained in the game, despite in some apparent discomfort while on the bench. Jagr also mentioned that some load management might be in play for Marner down the stretch as they take every precaution with Marner's injury. Marner isn't the first player to sustain a high ankle injury, with both Timothy Liljegren and Joseph Woll suffering the same ailment that kept them out for months. But Jagr pointed out this appears to be a mild case. With Marner out of the lineup, the Leafs have moved Tyler Bertuzzi back up to the top line, and the club has a taste of it in the game against the Bruins last week with Marner on the other wing. Marner has led the Leafs with 51 assists and has had 25 goals in 62 games this season. Cool. Well, you know what? I think that's why Sheldon Keefe in his pregame media availability today hinted that Tyler Bertuzzi would be in this spot in the lineup to stay. The reason is, there we go, bada bing, bada boom. Oh my God, can the Leafs do something can they stop breaking their own ankles?
Please. It's miserable and tragic.
Oh my God.
And I hate the world.
I feel like Leaf fans this season are gonna walk away with PTSD from just the term high ankle sprain. Yep. Okay, well, we'll finish this episode here. I think that's all we wanted to cover. We have a solid base. Also, Leafs game starts in 15 minutes. No soup picks yet, which is upsetting. Please, soup picks. But yeah, so with all that being said, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on Monday after the Leafs take on the Flyers tonight, and then Carolina on Saturday in their St. Pat's jerseys. Hopefully, we'll have more word about the status of Mitch Marner and his high ankle sprain.
Fingers crossed.
But you can follow the show, or you can find the show wherever you get your podcast. We also are now fully up to date with the show being on YouTube as well. I think we've all but 2 episodes are not on there, and we will get them up there this week. So yeah, that's cool. You can also now find us on YouTube more often. We don't really do a whole lot there, but no, we're getting better with it. You can also follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4, TH. You can follow me and Marcie on Twitter at 6leafs for Marcie, at PairB1 for myself. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you on Monday. Go Leafs, go. I can say that this time. Bye-bye.
Yes.